the final tonight. And the best team in baseball wins it all in 2018.
For the first hit. Rutschman into right field. Down the line. A fair ball. Adley will turn first. Head for second. He's going to turn second. Go for third. Rutschman into third base standing. An extra base hit. His first hit in the major leagues. Welcome to the...
These are long pitch innings. I think Blister, that's what you were to make sure.
Here's a high fly ball into right. Back his bat's on the move. On the track. He's got catch by Mookie Betts.
Now, Clifford looking for a clean inning here in the seventh. Hit well out to right center field. Jones still on the move, running out of room, and he made it!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Ballpark. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Moran, alongside Brendan Cunningham. Today, we have a big episode. We have our predictions. We have written down our division, our playoff teams, and our award winners. We have everything here. You know, we got division winners and all that. And then we got our 3 awards that we did were MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year. We each have our own list, so we'll see how well we can match up here, and it should be good. You know, we've had a little bit of spring training now. We have a good sense of where we're at in the league. But before we get into that, how are you doing today, Brendan?
I'm pretty good today. I'm doing all right and excited for these predictions. I think we did in the past before, maybe not. But I'm feeling pretty good in these. Hopefully get a lot right.
Let's hope so. I have mine in a notebook, so I'll definitely be able to look back on my predictions. I'll have to put a date on these. But you know, I think it's a pretty straightforward concept. So let's get straight into it. So we'll go. Should we go by league or by division?
Let's go by division.
Okay, so we'll do the AL East, NL East, AL Central, NL Central, AL West, NL West. Okay. So let's start off with the AL East. I'll kick it off with my predictions. I'll lead with the American League. You lead with the National League. So for 5th place, I had the Red Sox. 4th place, I had the Blue Jays. 3rd place, I had the Rays. 2nd place, I had the Yankees. And then 1st place, I had the Orioles. What did you have?
So 5th place, I had the Blue Jays. 4th place, I had the Red Sox. 3, I had the Rays. 2, I had the Orioles. And 1, I had the Yankees.
Okay, so we're kind of on different pages here. We had some things flipped. We had our bottom 2 and top 2 teams flipped. Is that correct?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. So what was your reasoning behind that?
Well, maybe a little biased. I couldn't put myself to put the Red Sox number 5, so I had to put them 4. And you know, I know you're probably just fair, but I don't have the Orioles number 1. But I just think I mean, 1 year. I just feel like I can't. It was one good year. I can't just trust that. You know, maybe it was a fluke. We don't know. You know, it's a young team. We don't know how well they can perform. So I can't be too high.
Okay. Okay. You know, that's a fair argument. Obviously, with a young team like that, you know, to your point, you know, the Orioles are kind of ahead of the curve in the rebuild, but you know, they got here, and I can see where you're coming from. You know, I mean, I think the Orioles are perfectly set up for a long time with their talent, their young talent, and kind of older talent. You know, I think the Orioles' depth is truly amazing. You know, it's hard for me to believe in the Red Sox right now, because I do believe that the Blue Jays and the Red Sox are kind of at the bottom of the division, but like the Blue Jays have the pitching staff. Like, if it's gonna come down to the pitching staff, I'm gonna pick the Blue Jays because I do feel like that's a better staff than the Red Sox, especially with the Giolito injury, which is honestly very sad for the Red Sox. But yeah, the Blue Jays little shaky, little bit of a negative connotation around them, which is not good for the Blue Jays. But I still think the Blue Jays are a little bit better than fifth place. But I think we can both agree that the Rays are, they're like, no matter what, they're always going to find a way to be good. So
Yeah, you can't count them out.
exactly, there's no room for that. So that's
Yeah.
now kick us into the NL East.
So first, I'll start from the bottom actually. Fifth, I have the Nationals. I have the Mets. 3, I have the Marlins. 2, I have the Phillies, and 1, I have the Braves.
Okay. So I had Marlins 5th, Nationals 4th, Mets 3rd, Phillies, Mets 3rd, Phillies 2, Braves 1. So we pretty much had the same division there, except for the bottom 2.
I'm just
So
seeing something.
I guess we don't. Yeah.
I see
I
something.
think it's tough. I honestly think the pitching. I'll make my case first. Pitching's kind of in limbo for the Marlins. They kind of got some banged up guys here and there, and a little bit of uncertainty. You have guys like Braxton Garrett and Sandy Alcantara, who are both hurt right now. Sandy will not be a Marlin for the 2024 season because he's hurt. Braxton Garrett dealing with some injuries. And then you have the guys like Edward Cabrera and Yuri Perez, who, they can be good. Well, Yuri Perez can be a future ace. Edward Cabrera can be a very good pitcher, but with Edward Cabrera's floor and Yuri Perez's kind of just youth and kind of him managing innings and all stuff like that, I do feel like it provides some uncertainty there. And then the Marlins offense is pretty lackluster for me. And I think the difference for me between the Nationals and the Marlins is that the Nationals, I think, are going to have some really good young guys come up this year and make a really good impact. You have guys like Dylan Cruz, James Wood, Brady House, who are all projected to come up at some point in the 2024 season and they contribute to the team. So that's what's going on for the Nationals for me. Like, I'm more excited about what they could be than the Marlins. That's what I got.
Okay. It's kind of hard to explain what I see in the Marlins, but I just got a feeling. I feel like they're gonna do something. But top of the division is pretty set. I think we both see the Braves number 1, Phillies number 2, and I think those bottom 3 teams are just kind of up in the air. That's the way I see it. It's anyone's for the taking.
Honestly, yeah, I honestly do see the Mets as that 3rd place team. I think the Mets are just going to be fine. So,
Okay.
I think they're just kind of going to be hovering around 500. I don't think they're going to be as bad as they were last year, but it's kind of a retool year, some would say, kind of a bridge year as they called it. So the Mets aren't going to be spectacular, but I don't expect them to be a dumpster fire. So now we got the Central. Moving along. My 5th place team is the White Sox. 4th place was the Guardians. 3rd place was the Royals. 2nd place was the Tigers. And then 1st place was the Twins.
Okay, for mine, I had the White Sox at 5. I had the Tigers at 4, the Royals at 3, Guardians 2, and Twins 1.
Okay. So we both agree that the White Sox are the 5th place team. The Twins are the 1st place team.
It's just kind of the middle.
That's right. Yeah, the middle of the pack is kind of up in the air. Honestly, kind of thinking about it now, I'd probably swap the Guardians and the Royals because the Guardians have the pitching that the Royals kind of don't, although they kind of do have it. I believe in pitching a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna swap the Guardians and the Royals. The Tigers, I can really personally see something there because the bullpen is really solid. The rotation has some good arms and young arms in like a Tariq Skubal and a Casey Mize and Matt Manning and guys like that. But then they were able to bring in some good stability and like a Kento Maeda and a Jack Flaherty to complement that. And then I think the offense could be good. There's some guys coming up that are capable of making an impact, and not as much upside as the Nationals, but still very good players. And I think the Tigers, kind of in an open division, could make a little bit of a shot. So that was my thoughts on my pick.
I see what you're saying. It's just I'm not being fooled again by these Tigers that have got us in the past.
That's
A few
true.
years ago, when everyone was high on these Tigers, and then they were awful, god awful. So I'm not making the same mistake. If they're great, they're great. But I'm staying low until they can actually show me something. So I'm gonna stick with fourth place still.
All right. So fair enough. Now let's go to the NL Central.
For the Central, I have the Reds in 5th, Brewers 4, Cardinals 3, Cubs 2, and Pirates 1. Maybe a little bit hot take there. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll go through my division, and then I have to ask you the looming question. I have Pirates 5, Reds 4, Cardinals 3, Cubs 2, and Brewers 1.
Wow.
So
Okay.
before I explain some of my things, what do you see in the Pirates that probably most people don't?
I see a division that is free, an open division. Nobody wants it. It's up in the air. You know who wants it? Is the Pittsburgh Pirates. They want it.
Wow. What makes you believe that they want it?
I'm thinking rookie pitcher is coming up, Mr. Paul Skeens. I'm thinking a month in, this guy comes up. He's a stud. Carrying the team. He's major league ready.
Wow. So you think that Paul Skeens can kind of have an Adley Rutschman type impact where he comes up and the team starts playing better?
One could say. Yeah, one could say.
I feel like Adley Rutschman's kind of set that tone. Like, he's kind of set the model of like, a big prospect comes up, team plays better because of it. I feel like that's kind of the Adley Rutschman motto. So you think the Paul Skeens is going to have that type of pick? That's true. Number 1 pick, 4 years apart, I believe, or 5. I think it's
biggest turnaround ever.
That would be a drastic turnaround. That would be bigger than the 2022 Orioles turnaround. Yeah. So
what's your thinking?
So I think it honestly kind of pained me to put the Reds in 4th because there's a lot of good young talent there, like a Elio Cruz and a Matt McClain and a Spencer Steer and a Christian Encarnacion Strand. They have some really good young bats as well as, some good young arms. You got like a Nick Lodolo and Hunter Green. The only problem with those two is that they haven't been able to stay healthy. You have an Andrew Abbott who looks really good, and he could be a good back end of the rotation type of piece. And then a Frankie Montas could be a good bounce back candidate. It's going to be tough for him pitching in Great American, but I still see something there. And then the bullpen's, I think, solid enough. You got Alexis Diaz, the mini Edwin Diaz at the back of your bullpen, which is pretty nice if you have the mini Edwin Diaz. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of steam with the Reds, but I can't really put them ahead of the other teams, kind of more established talent at the moment, I would say. Although there's not a lot of talent in this division. Like you said, it's kind of free. I originally had the Cardinals in second and Cubs in third, but I swapped them. It's kind of hard for me to buy into the Cardinals pitching. I've been listening to Just Baseball Show, which is fantastic. Please go check it out if you can. Or it was somebody else. I don't remember. The Cardinals, like, the pitching staff is not exciting. So obviously they have the good bats, but it kind of feels like the corner infield is starting to get a little bit older. Paul Goldschmidt's getting older. Nolan Arenado's getting older, which is really sad to say. Cubs, I feel like, are on a good track with a lot of their talent. We're obviously able to bring Cody Bellinger back and all that. And then the Brewers, like, I think the Brewers, I maybe sound like a moron for saying this, but I still feel like it's their division to lose, even after losing Corbin Burns, because the pitching factory is still there, and if you're able to pitch, that's going to get you somewhere. So if you could put up enough runs, that's my thought. Any other thoughts on the Central?
Yeah, I guess you were saying with the Cardinals. I also put the Cubs ahead of the Cardinals. So I just, like you said, the Cardinals are just getting older, and I think the Cubs are just a younger and better team. But if
I'd agree.
Honestly, if any of these teams win the division, I wouldn't be super surprised.
I agree with that. Yeah. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, that was going lines of that.
Yeah.
But you want to take it to AL West?
Sure. Yeah. Just to agree with your thought, like 100%. I think any of these teams, including the Pirates, who you somehow had in first, could grab the division. Like, if that's how wide open this division is. Okay, West, AL West. My fifth team was, we all know, the Oakland Athletics. LA Angels fourth, Mariners third, Rangers second, and Astros first. So, what did you have?
I actually had the Athletics first. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that bold. Athletics 5, Angels 4, Mariners 3, Astros 2, Rangers 1.
So we only missed on the top two.
Yeah. Kind of 1A and 1B.
So, I agree with that. It's kind of a 1A, 1B. Before we kind of break down our thoughts for the top two teams, is there anything we can just say about the Athletics, or is it just to, don't touch it with a 10-foot pole?
Have fun in Las Vegas. That's kind of it.
That's all you got?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a fair thought. I'm sorry, Oakland fans.
Pray for them one pick.
What are you gonna say? they didn't get it this year.
That's all they want.
That's all they want. They're like increasing their chances to get that by the day we have the lottery. Oakland, I'm sorry that your team's moving sooner or later. Moneyball's a great movie. It's just gonna be different watching that, knowing that they're in Vegas, not Oakland.
Yeah.
So, Brad Pitt masterclass in that movie. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Moneyball, although that is a great movie. So yeah, I went with the Astros. I mean, Astros still have a great offense. You have Alex Bregman, you have Jose Altuve, you have a Yainer Diaz who can take a step forward. Chas McCormick is low-key kind of a dog, and then Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez, some left-handed sluggers in that lineup. And you have like a Jeremy Pena and a Jose Abreu rounding it out, which is solid. My big thing is that if you don't have the lead, like if you're losing to the Astros, by the time it gets to like the 7th inning, it's over, because you have to deal with Brian Abreu, you have to deal with Ryan Presley, and you have to deal with Josh Hader. That is the best back three. Like, that is 3 legit closer arms right there. And it's 7th inning guy, setup guy, closer, which is just insane.
Why I'm looking at this is, these Rangers, they're coming hot off that World Series win. They're riding it. They're taking it into the season. I mean, who won in the ALCS? That's gonna be it. When these teams play, that's gonna be what's gonna set them apart. We're gonna have to wait for those games. There's gonna be some good games.
There are going to be some good games.
Because they're gonna be neck and neck. I mean, if the Astros win it, like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think the Rangers are gonna do it. I think they're just gonna they're staying hot. They were hot all season, and then somehow that hot is gonna sustain into the regular season.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I would not be shocked if the Rangers win those games. But like, my thought is still like, how do you win the game if it's in the 7th inning? You have to deal with the nastiness of not Ryan Abreu, and then you have to deal with Ryan Presley, who's no slouch, and then you have to deal with like one of the best closers in the game, in Josh Hader. So, the Rangers have some pitching questions because of the Max Scherzer questions and the Jacob deGrom being out for the whole year, and it doesn't look like they're bringing Montgomery back. So there's a lot of mystery around that rotation, and even in the back of that or even that bullpen. But to your credit, like that lineup can definitely match.
Yeah. All right.
So now we can head to the NL.
NL West.
Yeah.
I have the Rockies in 5, Giants in 4, Padres in 3, D-backs in 2, and Dodgers in 1.
Spot on. In that order.
That's it? On the money?
That's it. We got
Wow.
it on the money.
That's pretty good.
I don't know how much there is to explain.
It's kind of clear.
It is. I mean, Rockies suck. The Rockies are the A's of the NL. The Giants are like, they made some good additions, but like, is it enough to catapult them forward?
Yeah.
We shall see. And then Padres, like, I think there's just too much talent there to be bad. And then D-backs are really solid. Like, they've retained most of that team, and they've been able to expand on it, which is great. They've added some really good bats. I think Eugenio Suarez is going to be a really good bat for them at third base. And then I absolutely love the platoon of Jock Peterson and Randall Grichuk. Jock Peterson can mash against some righties, and he'll be able to take the bulk of that platoon. And then Randall Grichuk was one of the best hitters against lefty. So I think that's a match made in heaven. And then I also love bringing Lourdes Gurriel Jr. back at the price that they did. They got a lot of really good value for money type guys. So, and Erod. How could I forget about Erod? Brendan's favorite player, Eduardo Rodriguez.
No, absolutely not.
You wish you had him right now, didn't you?
No, I do not. I do not.
Wow, you wouldn't take any pitching after the Giolito injury?
Anyone else but Eduardo Rodriguez.
Anyone but would you rather have Rick Porcello come out of retirement?
Yes. Cy Young. Give me Rick Porcello.
Did Rick Porcello win a Cy Young?
Yes, he did. Don't doubt it.
That's amazing. Shout out Rick Porcello. I did not know that. But yeah, really good pitcher when he's in his prime. We're not here to talk about Rick Porcello though. And then the Dodgers, obviously. I mean,
They're the Dodgers.
They're the Dodgers. Yeah. I mean, Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the same team. I mean, I don't know what else you have to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, yeah, the Dodgers just mic drop the whole league.
Yeah. All right.
So,
I think you kind of summed it up there.
Seeding time.
Nothing really more to say.
Right. Now we get to the seeding. I'll start with my seeds. I had Astros as the 1 seed, Orioles as the 2 seed, Twins as the 3 seed, Rangers as the 4 seed. Did I forget a 5 seed? Oh no, I did. Mariners as the 5 seed, and then the Yankees as the 6 seed.
Okay, so I had the Rangers as the 1 seed, the Yankees as the 2 seed, the Twins as the 3 seed, the Orioles as the 4 seed, the Astros as the 5 seed, and the Mariners as the 6 seed.
Interesting. Feels like we're a
Same
little
teams.
bit
Same teams.
same teams. Okay, so yeah, just different order.
Yeah.
You had the Rangers at 1. You were banking on some mojo from the
You gotta get
from the
the
playoffs.
Rangers. I got a good team.
That's, I mean, yeah, that's, yeah, I mean, I guess it's not too much to break down, because if it's the same teams, it's kind of a little bit self-explanatory when you have your, division winners and stuff like that. And then you can kind of explain why you picked your wild card teams. I mean, Rangers, they got to make the postseason if they're not winning the division. Mariners, I really like them. I love the Mariners pitching staff. I mean, that's a great staff right there. That 1 through 5 is pretty insane, with like Luis Castillo, George Kirby, Bryce Miller, Brian Wu, and I guess whoever else you want to throw in the mix. If I'm forgetting anyone, do you remember if I'm forgetting anyone?
I think you got it.
Okay, so, and then, Yankees, they have improved, to their credit. As much as we hate on the Yankees on this show, they've made the good steps forward. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the reason behind your wild card teams?
Well, you said the Mariners, I think, just have a good roster overall. They're not good enough to get even 6, though, in my opinion. The Yankees, I just, like you said, they made good steps, adding Juan Soto and other pieces. I think they could be a good team, even though I hate to say it. And the Rangers, I mean, if they win that division, they win the AL. So then, obviously, the Twins 3 seed. We just have to put them there. Astros 5 seed, even though you have the 1 seed, that's pretty interesting. I just think the Orioles are going to beat them out. That's kind of it.
Huh. Okay.
And then I'll go to the end.
Oh yeah, I know.
6, I have the Padres. At 5, I have the Phillies. At the 4 seed, I have the D-backs. At 3, I have the Pirates. 2, Braves. 1, Dodgers.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have a talk here. It's I can feel that debate coming. I had Cubs 6. I had, who's my 5? D-backs 5. Phillies 4. Brewers 3. Dodgers 2. Braves 1. So this was it. That's it. This is the debate. So, it was a 50-50 shot that we were going to match up on this, and we didn't. So you believe in the Dodgers more. I believe in the Braves more. Make your case for the Dodgers.
Okay, I'll make the case. Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, blanking on the Japanese pitcher's name.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Need I say more?
That's kind of it.
Is that not 3 MVPs?
That would be 3 MVPs. Yes, that is 3 MVPs, and Freeman, Betts, and Ohtani.
That's kind of it,
That's one.
Walker.
That's
Buehler,
one of the best. Walker Buehler coming back. Yeah, that's
We'll forget about him. He's still
Um,
good, I think.
Yeah, Walker Buehler was like one of the best pitchers in the game. He was healthy. So yeah, that's a good case. And you forgot about Tyler Glasnow.
Tyler Glasnow.
Of course, Tyler Glasnow gets lost in the scuffle. And
Yeah.
it's Tyler freaking Glasnow.
That's how loaded this team is.
I mean, you have a guy that's has the upside of being an ace just being forgotten about.
The one thing is, we have no idea how Shohei Ohtani will perform in the postseason.
Yeah, because
it's a good question.
I mean, has Shohei Ohtani ever been in the postseason?
No, I don't think so, right?
Let's just before I make my case with Braves. Come on, Angels!
And Mike Trout's only been to one.
you had Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, and you failed to build a team around them.
It's ridiculous.
Angels. I'm sorry if you're an Angels fan listening to this, but I think everyone can agree you should be flat out ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
That is truly pathetic at the fact that you were not able to make a run and you had both Trout and Ohtani on your team. I mean, those are two of the best players in baseball, and you did not do anything but waste their careers.
Ohtani still has time.
Ohtani has time. Trout, he may not, which is just heartbreaking. But we'll hope that Trout can keep on pushing, keep on chugging. Probably in the DH spot. Anyway, just now that we're done shaming the Angels, Braves. I mean, you go around the diamond, you go around the outfield. Like I can name it off the dome: Sean Murphy, Matt Olson, Ozzie Albies, Orlando Arcia, Austin Riley, Jared Kelenic, Michael Harris, and Ronald Acuna. I mean, that's it. It is hard to poke. I mean, it's hard to poke a hole in that.
Don't forget the rotation.
And the rotation, like Max Fried, Spencer Strider, Chris Sale. I'm sure I'm forgetting another guy. AJ Smith-Shawver is a good prospect who, has some great upside. There's probably another guy I'm forgetting. But is there another guy I'm forgetting?
I know you're forgetting someone. Who is it?
Oh man, am I
Charlie
forgetting
Morton.
a guy?
Charlie Morton.
Oh, it is Charlie Morton. Yeah, and then you have Rizal Iglesias in the bullpen. Like, I think that the Braves, the Dodgers have the higher firepower. Like Betts, Freeman, and Ohtani is one of the best trios in all of sports. But I believe that it is harder to poke a hole in the Braves as a team than it is in the Dodgers. I stand by that.
Okay.
So, you could poke a hole with the Dodgers at second. I mean, that's it.
All right.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, granted, it's nearly impossible to poke a hole in either team. But if you're really looking to get nitpicky, it's second base. Gavin Lux is a solid player, but you don't know what it's going to look like coming off of injuries. And then Miguel Rojas is a defensive first guy. So, you don't know.
Okay.
So that was it. Wild cards. I think the Cubs are solid enough to get there. D-backs deserve to be back. And then who was my fourth team? Phillies. Yeah, Phillies deserve to be there. Did you see that? Did you see that the Diamondbacks are doing their National League champs ring ceremony when they're playing the Phillies?
Oh wow. Okay.
I know.
They do that.
That's.
You get rings for winning national champions, for winning the NL.
I guess there's some sort of ceremony or giveaway going on that has to do with that when they're playing the Phillies.
Like they did it on purpose.
Yeah, I think they did it on purpose. But they actually did it on accident. I mean,
All
hey, rivalry coming? Is that a future
Maybe.
rivalry? Maybe. We'll see. World Series. Who did you have in the World Series?
Let's go to the awards first. Let's end with the World Series.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll kick it off mine. We'll go award by award. For MVP, in the American League, I had Juan Soto. And then in the NL, this is gonna be music to your ears. I had Mookie Betts winning the MVP.
You know, it was already used to my ears because I had him for MVP too. And then for my AL MVP, I had Corey Seager.
That would have been my other guy that I was thinking of. So pretty much spot on. It's kind of a 1A, 1B. Like there's no answer with Juan Soto or Corey Seager. So,
Yeah. All right.
Either one's a great pick. And then Mookie Betts. You just want to praise your boy Mookie for one moment in the sun.
Yeah. I mean, second MVP. Leading his team. Both guys can lead their team to a 1 seed. So yeah. I mean, he's one of the best players of all time, and the Hall of Famer. Yeah, he does it all. What more can you ask? He's playing shortstop now.
I mean, you could ask him to play, be a starter, be an ace.
I mean, the only guy that does more is Shohei Ohtani, who's his teammate, which is wild.
Right. Yeah. That's Cy Young. For the AL, I had my boy Corbin Burns, and then Spencer Strider for the NL.
We hit again. I have Corbin Burns for the Cy Young in the AL, and I have Logan Webb for the NL.
Ooh, I love that. I love that pick. Great pick.
Mm-hmm.
I would tip a cap, but I don't have a cap on my head, so I love that. I mean, Strider's going to be more popular in the fact that he gets more strikeouts.
And he's going to be on a winning team.
And he's on a winning team, But Logan Webb, awesome pitcher. I love that pick. And then Rookie of the Year in the American League, I had my boy Jackson Holiday. And then in the NL, I had Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Okay. We hit again. AL, I have Jackson Holiday. And for the NL, leading his team to the playoffs, it's Paul Skeens. That's what I got.
Okay. About Paul Skeens, how many innings do you think Paul Skeens throws in the big leagues?
I'm not really good with all that. I just know he's going to probably go in the month into the season.
Okay.
When they realize he's flaming up minor leagues.
Mm-hmm. He did not make the opening day.
How many innings that is? That's what I gotta say.
I mean, he could have an innings limit too. So I'm thinking although he did throw a butt ton of innings at LSU and winning the championship, that's probably 120, 130 something, right around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're projecting a month call up.
Yeah, that's my call up.
Okay. All right. There's that's a good prediction. So we both had Jackson Holiday and we both had pitchers. Just two different pitchers.
Yeah.
I do love the Jackson Holiday love. Hopefully back to back Oriole Rookie of the Years. I'm praying. That would be amazing. My life would be complete. I mean, it's already been completed, but more completion. I mean, Evan Carter's a good pick too for the Rangers.
All right.
He was amazing down the stretch. And World Series. I'll let you take it first.
All right. I have the 1 seed versus the 1 seed, the MVP versus the MVP, Dodgers versus Rangers. That's my World Series, and I'm picking the Dodgers to win it all. It'd be a crazy
Okay.
series, a lot of star power. Corey Seager gets his old team going for number 3. It'd be lit.
How many games do you think that goes, and who do you think World Series MVP?
I'm gonna say it goes 6, and I'm gonna say Mookie Betts just does it all. I can't not give it to him.
Okay, fair enough. I had a completely different World Series. My World Series was the Braves beating the Orioles in 7.
Oh man,
I know. That would
You
break my
couldn't help
heart if that
yourself.
happened because
You couldn't help yourself.
yeah, I couldn't help myself. I mean, the Orioles are gonna, the Orioles got their guy in Corbin Burns, so like, I may be on my high horse here, but there's also plenty of reason to buy in. And then World Series MVP, I went with Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah.
So I think Ronald Acuna Jr. could go off.
I mean, he's pretty good at
He's
baseball.
amazing.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's pretty good, I guess.
Better.
He may or may not have created his own club. That I guess that's a good player.
I mean, he's no Steve Pierce, but like, doesn't matter.
Steve Pierce, shout out Steve Pierce, legend. If you know, you know. Anyway, that'll be it for this episode. You got to save those predictions, see if you're right at the end of the year.
That's right.
Anything else to add before we wrap it up?
Pirates better not do me dirty. That's it.
You're riding a big bet here on the Pirates.
If I hit, it's gonna be great. If I miss, it's not.
You don't have anything to lose because you're not betting money, but you're
No.
losing your image
Pride.
on this podcast.
Pride and
Yeah.
image.
Pride and image of Beyond the Ballpark. That's your bold prediction. What would be my bold prediction? Mine, I mean, I feel like the Tigers is pretty bold for me.
You could say Brewers.
Brewers, yeah, that was a bold one for me as well. And then the fact that I had the Nationals ahead of the Marlins, I feel like that's a pretty bold one too.
Yeah.
So, all right, that'll be it for this episode. Everything you need is in the description, social media, and merchandise. We appreciate you listening as always every week, and we'll see you next time.